Coach's Corner. Coach's Corner with Coach Heck and the infamous Coach Patrick King. Some of the stuff we say.
We're not responsible for our actions.
No,
we're sober.
In essence, and you could tell me to shut the hell up, but in essence, you got chemo face, right?
I got chemo face. When I go to the scores table to talk to coach, I said, get as many pictures as you can. And it kind of reminded me that the stories you said when you coached the McDonald's game when you had LeBron say, okay, LeBron signed this because someday it's going to be important.
What did one casket say to the other? Is that you coughing? And you ain't that good. The scouting report said you were pretty good. You ain't that good.
Coach's Corner with Heck and King live at Corby's Irish Pub in South Bend is brought to you by Tony Letcher with Health Markets Insurance, On Funeral Homes in Mishawaka, Frick's Driving School in Mishawaka, and the Harbor Group Planned Wealth down in Anderson. If you're on YouTube, make sure and subscribe to the channel and like the video and comment in the chat. Now here's Heck and King.
he was drunk and talking to that girl and married secretary, all the things. So being able to do that for people and just having that, which is we are exactly the old scoreboard. So I couldn't have gotten luckier by a great guy in Elkhart named Max Yakey, who's had it for a while and really liked the vision of what I was going to do and just frankly gave it to me.
Yeah. So the St. Joe boys, like probably 8 to 10 to 12 ex-St. Joe basketball players from the 70s are going to be here on the weekend of that Arkansas away game.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to come to the show on Thursday night and hang out in here and stuff like that. And once I talked about Corby's, and they said, "Man, we are all in on this."
It makes me so happy.
No, these are guys that you might have watched when you were maybe 8 years old, 7 years old, going to the old St. Joe gym, Bob Donewald coaching and everything.
I mean, it was Rodney Holmes and Darren Timor, those boys that went down state. I remember that team like.
So I was an assistant at Ball State, and I recruited Rodney, and Rodney played at Ball State.
Awesome.
And Rodney was really, really good. Man.
Awesome.
He was really good. Hey, listen, man, we appreciate you hosting us here. We appreciate you spending a little time with us. And we look forward to this 37-week run here at Corby's. And I know as the word gets out, a lot of our friends will be in here. So I can't thank you enough for having us down here.
No. Seeing you guys here makes me happy. So I appreciate you guys giving us a shot down here and spending some time down here. This is great.
All right, that's the great Joe Mitica, guys, the owner of Corby's. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, no, so that's a little history of Corby's, man.
Great history.
How do you not, I mean, how can you sit here and say Rudy was at the bar and all that stuff?
I know. So, we're happy to be here. That's for sure. We've been working on a couple sound things.
We got them fixed.
We got them
good.
fixed.
We're good.
I think we're good.
What? I mean, what we did, it wasn't good.
It was fantastic.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Well, I thought the
fantastic.
sound has been great.
It has.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then, hey, how about we bring your guy in here for
Why
a
don't we do
minute?
that?
We have a new John. Why don't you introduce him and spend a couple minutes talking about him as he has rolled the speaker over. I think
It's on the floor.
So somebody can grab that.
And it's echoing.
Well, heck, we'll grab that. Yeah, we are pleased to introduce one of our new broadcasters here on broadcastsport.net. Derek Clute is joining us. He's going to be doing the Elkhart County Game of the Week for us this year in the fall. We're going to obviously have the St. Joe County Game of the Week, New Prairie football, and an Elkhart County Game of the Week each and every Friday night here on the internet. And we hired Derek just a couple of weeks ago, kind of a late hire, but obviously has some background in athletic administration and coaching and in broadcasting. Derek, welcome to our team. We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
you got to turn the mic up, man. Hey,
There you go.
Are we there?
There you
All
go.
right.
So where do you have a background in coaching from?
Well, I started at New Prairie coaching junior high wrestling.
I feel bad for you, man.
I learned a valuable lesson.
What's that?
Never coach junior high wrestling.
Well, could be. That could be, man.
And after that, I went to East Side, which is in Butler in the north.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. I've heard of East Side High School.
And I was a basketball assistant, and I coached cross country, and actually took the team in cross country to the state finals.
Oh, man.
School there, and that was the most success I had in my entire nearly 30-year career. Then I went to Rensselaer and was an assistant basketball coach, JV basketball, baseball varsity coach, volleyball varsity coach.
Man, you did it all there.
Track. Well, I also have a physical education degree too, and I
Hey, that ain't nothing. We all got PE degrees, man. Come on. I mean, my dad was a dentist, and my dad said, "What are you going to major in?" Maybe dentistry, maybe. I said, PE, Dad, are you kidding me? Come on.
Yes, exactly. And then after leaving Rensselaer, went to Lewis Cass
Yes.
as an assistant principal. Actually, before that, the year before, I was an athletic director at South Newton for 1 year that seemed like a decade long, because I was the AD, high school assistant principal, transportation director, and anything else they needed.
They could have him up here at transportation here in South Bend.
You would do a good job.
Hey, you did it all. So how did you get hooked up with Johnny Be Good on
it's
Broadcast
interesting.
Sport?
I had an appointment a couple weeks ago, and just talking to the lady, and she said, so what do you like to do? And I said, well, I've been in sports since I can remember. And she said, well, what do you like to do? And I said, well, I've coached and I was on the radio in Rensselaer and I've done a lot of public address announcing. And she said, I know the guy for you. And I said, okay, let me know. And she said, John Overmeyer's in charge of broadcastsport.net, and give him a call. And he hooked me up. I met him and Kenny and Daryl at a place here in Mishawaka, sat and talked, and I'm sure you can understand, all four of you. We just sat and talked about sports and talked and talked.
You didn't talk about the county council at New Prairie or E.T. Pearls or anything like that.
No, it was strictly business.
The mayor of Carlisle.
Yeah.
No, it was great to see Kenny. Kind of know him from way back.
From East Side Little League.
No,
Did he throw you out of a game too?
No, he did not.
No. So I know you don't know this guy, but Chad Blasco.
oh,
He
dear.
was
Here
a
we go
great
again.
pitcher at Mishawaka.
Yep.
Pitched at Purdue, right?
Played the majors for a little
Number
bit.
one draft pick of the Chicago Cubs. Number one draft pick of the Chicago Cubs. Made $1 million on a signing bonus. Blah blah blah. Chad's coaching a game at Eastside Little League. Guess who runs them? Guess who runs them? Right there.
Hey,
And Kenny's going to tell you. He told him to be quiet, and he didn't get quiet. Right.
Yeah, you go.
There you go, man.
well, Kenny was a year behind my brother in high school, and somehow just met him through different things. Of course, he's busy with athletics. I'm busy with athletics, and so I had a great time talking with him. And John texted me or emailed me later and said, you want to join us? And I'm so excited. I love football, even though I'm wearing a Colts jersey.
Yeah, I got to tell you, this is South Bend, man. This is South Bend. And he's going to, you know what? He's going to say it's cool because he's a Lions fan.
You betcha. That's
He's
why
a
my
Lions
Lions
fan.
flag is flying.
I'm a Bears guy. Who are you? You're Bears.
Bears at Notre Dame.
Yeah, there you go.
Notre Dame and Lions.
I've got a Colts flag in the driveway.
All right.
Like him. Now, the crazy thing is, though, since I grew up in Rolling Prairie, but all my family shoved Notre Dame down my throat. So I just have to say, go blue.
Hey, listen, man.
We could use you to say that tomorrow night, by the way.
That's safe. Let's see.
Hey, so we appreciate you stopping on, and I know working with John, you're going to have the best mentor in the world with this, and his team is really, really good. So welcome aboard.
Thank you.
And enjoy broadcasting. I know Pat and Kenny will broadcast together. You guys do New Prairie.
Right, yep.
And he's
With Daryl doing the Elkhart County game of the week.
All right, man.
Where are you at tomorrow night, Derek?
John Glenn.
They're doing
For the game against Boone
Boone
Grove.
Grove coming in. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Any
I'm excited.
any thoughts on that game? Have you had a chance?
Well, Daryl sent me some information today, and I'm going to give him credit because he's going to do a lot for me at the beginning. Not a whole lot of history between the two schools. I think Glenn has a 6-2 wins over Boone Grove, but
Boone
I'm
Grove's
looking
still a
forward.
pretty new program.
When it comes to football, they just got football within the last 15, 20 years or so.
yeah.
So they're relatively at the infant stage of their
Right.
program, and
Yeah,
they
they
finally
were-
got their own facility.
They were in the small Porter County Conference,
And they
with
still are, yeah.
Counts in Washington Township,
all the soccer teams.
all that. Yeah,
Yeah.
they had boys volleyball there, which
Yes.
I love volleyball, so
Yes.
that was kind of exciting to see.
All right, Coach. Listen, man, thanks for joining us here. We're going to move on here. And John, I know you look forward to Derek being with your team
Absolutely.
and being a part of it.
Going to be the play-by-play guy for us. I think he'll do a great job. So you can join them on the Elkhart County game of the week tomorrow. John Glenn and Boone go from Walkerton. Should be
All right.
fun.
Thanks, Derek. Thanks for joining us. Hey, so you know what we got to do, man? We have great
I was
sponsors.
getting ready to say we need to talk
We
about
have
our
we have great
sponsors a little bit.
sponsors, and I'm going to mention them. And you know, and obviously, hopefully, we're going to have a couple more sponsors join us. But obviously, Tony Letcher has been with us for 2, maybe 3 years. His health markets are the best, and you and I know that because we're both retired.
Yes, we are.
And we put our faith and trust in Tony Letcher to guide us the Ben Harbor Financial Group out of Anderson, Indiana. And again, we're both in the Ben Harbor Financial Group.
Right.
I mean, Johnny, you got some money you need to put it somewhere?
No,
Okay, cool. Kenny, you got anything?
I'm good.
Okay, good. Because
I got money, but it's put away somewhere, but I ain't going to tell you where.
because Ben Harbor and his group just do a great job with it. Again, Hahn Funeral Home.
Right.
Pat Hahn has been with us for, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years. And Pat's going to be, he's going to be with us again. And I say this all the time. What did one casket say to the other caskets?
Boy. Do we need to get Bugsy over here to answer that?
Hey, Aaron, come here for a second. Aaron, come here. And I know you'll answer this question. You might know the answer to this question, okay? Okay, here, grab this mic. Aaron, what did one casket say to the other casket? I don't know. Well, you got to turn it on first.
There's a button on there.
What did one casket say to the other casket?
I don't know.
Aaron, you're a funeral director. Go with it.
I've never heard the joke.
Go with it.
Is that you knocking?
That's close.
Is that you coughing? There we go. Is that you coughing?
It only took us 34 minutes to get the joke.
Yeah,
Show
I
number
mean,
one,
come
not
on.
bad.
The Black Sedan Band
Yep.
out of Birmingham, Alabama, man.
Yeah,
The
I know
Black
that.
Sedan Man.
Yep.
I'm sure we'll pull some of their stuff up. Frick's Driving School, right?
Yep. Fricks.
If you want to know, hey, if you're going to have a band in Texas, you got to have a fiddle in the band, right? If you want to know how to drive, you got to go
You
The
go to
Fricks.
to Frick's Driving School.
And
I
we'll-
love our graphics. Are we still using that this year?
Yeah, we'll have
Oh,
it.
good.
And we're gonna have a Fricks-
We'll have a road team of the week.
Yeah, we will have a Frick's Road Team of the Week. They do a great job of helping us. So those 5 sponsors right off the jump just do a great job with us, and we certainly appreciate it, and we appreciate them.
You
So
mention our sign.
our sign back behind us, the great Joe Mitica put this up for us from Corby's and Coach's Corner, man, podcast with Heck and King. You can catch it on Broadcast Sport. It'll be on right at it's live right now, right, John?
Yes, right live right now. We'll archive it once we're done.
Yeah,
You're
so-
out there, you can go back and watch anytime.
So broadcastsport.net, it's live. And that's compliments of Johnny B. Good, who's the owner, operator, and everything else with broadcastsport.net.
By the way, yesterday was National Radio Day, guys. So happy National Radio Day to you all.
But I gotta say, you say National Radio Day, we're streaming.
Yeah, well, it's National Streaming Day too.
We're streaming.
There you go.
We're streaming.
Yes.
All right. So listen, we are going to get the great Tim Grawl up here, and we'll talk about Tim once we get him seated. Can you take us to commercial a little bit, Pat?
I'm going to try here.
Can you hang, man?
I can do. Let's go. Let's try it right now.
Looking to get your driver's license? Frick's Driving School in Mishawaka makes it easy with the Indiana State Driving Exam in-house for just $65. No formal driver's education is required. If you're 16 years and 270 days old, which is like 9 months, and have held an Indiana learner's permit for at least 180 days, which is like 6 months, you're eligible. Frick's provides the vehicle. All you need to do is bring a ride to and from the office. The exam only takes about 20 minutes, and you can walk out with your official Indiana driver's license. To schedule, call 574-256-0650 or visit fricksdrivered.com.
Finding private health insurance can be stressful. What if it didn't have to be? I'm Tony Letcher, licensed insurance agent. I prefer to personally meet with my clients so I can get a better understanding of your needs and budget. I can even review your current coverage. I don't want you to be my client today. I want you to be my client forever. Call Tony Letcher today to schedule your free consultation or visit tletcher.com.
Hahn Funeral Homes, located at 505 West 8th Street in Mishawaka, continues a proud tradition built on one promise of family serving families. With deep roots in the community, Hahn Funeral Homes offers traditional burial, cremation services, and now pet cremation options, providing compassionate care for every member of the family. Families in Mishawaka have long trusted Hahn's to guide them with dignity, understanding, and personal attention through life's most difficult moments. For more information, visit them online at hahnfuneralhomes.com or call 574-255-1474. Hahn Funeral Homes, a family serving families. Thinking about retirement, Harbor Group Planned Wealth helps you answer the big questions like when to draw Social Security, how to manage investment risk, and what health insurance might cost. Wondering if you can earn part-time income after 62 without losing benefits, or if retiring could actually feel like getting a raise. They've got answers and a plan to guide you. Call the Harbor Group at 765-393-1074 or visit harborgroup.com. That's harborgroup.com. Back with more Coach's Corner with Heck and King. Thanks as always to the Black Sedan Band for the music coming in and out of these breaks. If you're interested in booking them that you travel, head on over to blacksedanband.com and give a special shout out to their drummer, who happens to be Heck's brother. And now, here's more Heck and King.
So we are back at the great Corby's Irish Pub, and just had a chat with Joe Mitica, the legendary owner here, and we are so happy to have Mr. Tim Grawl, who does the Notre Dame pregame show and has been doing it for how long, Tim?
I've been with the show 26 years. The show's been on. This is the 54th year for the show.
So I mean, have you always had like a radio background? I mean,
no.
Like before you did the show.
Well, it's funny when the show originally originated from a hotel in town called Ramada Inn back in the 80s and 90s. I was the GM there, so they were interviewing me as the GM of the place. When they decided to move to the varsity club, that just so happened I went to work full time with WSBT, and I went to work with the great Bob Lux. We worked together 2 or 3 years, and then the rest.
I used to work with Bob Luck at WSBT back in the day as well.
Oh, okay.
I knew Bob. Yep.
Very good. A friend of mine was even before that, but then we got to do that together, and then at the varsity clubs, and then he decided to hang it up after 30 years, and they needed somebody that still knew something about the show. So I worked with Bernie Kish, then I worked with Craig Wallen, Lynn Clark. I keep telling them, you guys haven't figured out. You keep replacing the host. So I was always a producer and then a co-host, but I've been hosting it now for about 6 years. So
that is really cool. Now there's a new change now for the Notre Dame pregame. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So how it's worked on WSBT in the past is I did a 2-hour show, all interview based. And then after us, there was another 2.5 show from WSBT that was all X's and O's and player breakdown, team breakdown, everything. Well, Darren Pritchett, who's been, and you know him, been with a long time, he moved out of state. Well, they decided they would consolidate and just have one big show for 3.5 hours. And they offered it to me, and I stupidly said yes.
Well, so, and people don't understand like your comment stupidly, because they say, oh man, we love listening to Tim. We love all the stuff, but it almost doubles like the talent that you have to bring in and arrange for every weekly show, right?
Yeah. So we're going to stay with the interviews, at least have 3 or 4, which has been the hallmark for all the 50 years plus we've been on the air. But now we'll also have Eric Hansen, Tyler Horka, and Jim Arizari will all be with me too. Then we'll do all the breakdowns of the team. And the interviews will be spread out throughout the 3.5 hours, and then we'll be doing all the breakdowns of the team.
Where will you do your show from?
We're going to do the show from the away games will be from the studio. And then the home games, we're still waiting for a site.
So
every year we look for a different site to move it around. We haven't concluded yet where we're going to be.
Last year, I saw you at the Eddie Commons site.
Eddie Street Commons, yes.
Eddie Street Commons, and you had Joe Theismann with you.
Yes.
That was amazing.
Joe turned out to be unbelievable. First, I talked to him. It took me 12 years to even finally get through to him and get past this gatekeeper. But then we got Joe, and he was a great on radio on guest on the air. But then I got a hold of him, and he's been at the bookstore doing signings once every season. So now we've got it. We send a golf cart over to him, pick him up.
Yeah. So I was able to, and I was able to talk with Joe Theismann at your interview. And so my dad was a dentist in South Bend on the west side, and he did dental work on Joe Theismann.
Oh, no kidding.
And my dad had a picture of Joe Theismann in his office. And I said, Joe, I know you don't remember, who your dentist was when you were in South Bend, but he was my father. And he said, I do remember him.
He comes full circle, didn't it?
It was unbelievable to think that. To think
Yeah.
that I don't know, maybe 40 years later, he would remember, or 50 years later, maybe he would remember who his dentist in South Bend was.
And I don't doubt that. I'm always amazed at some of the players that we have on and former coaches. I'll tell you a story about Eric Parsegian. One of the last times he was on the show, he was 90. And we're doing a Southern Cal show. When we do that, I like to get people from famous games or teams that played. So he was one of the guests. So he was on the phones. We got going on, and we're just talking about all sorts of different things. And finally, I brought up the infamous no-hold penalty that they called on Notre Dame. It was the phantom hold. We would have went undefeated that season. In his first year, taking a team from like 2 wins to a team that won them all. He started getting going on that. He knew the name of the official. He knew the name of the player that they falsely called it on. He knew the time, what it was. And he was, if I could see him, I bet you he was all red in the face and everything. I finally said, Coach, why are you still all excited 40 years later? Why wouldn't I be, Tim?
No, he's a coach.
He had the passion.
He had the passion. He had the memory. Now maybe he couldn't have told you what he had for breakfast, but when you
I'm that guy right now.
I'm there too. So I had a great opportunity to do the McDonald's All-American games, and John Wooden was always a part of those McDonald's games. And when they introduced me, he heard my last name. And at this time, John Wooden was 91 years old.
Right.
He said, Hecklinski, he said, are you related to the 2 twins that played at South Bend, Washington in the 1940s? Because John Wooden coached at South Bend Central.
Right. Oh, yeah, I remember.
And so I said, yeah. He said, which one is your dad? I said, the lefty. He said, oh, man. He said he had this hook shot that was out of this world. And my dad would tell us that all the time. And what would we say? Yeah, Dad.
Sure, right.
Sure, Dad.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And so my dad was not doing well. He was probably maybe 80, 81, 82. I called him that night. I said, Dad, I apologize for all those years of blowing you off, but John Wooden validated your hook shot today.
Yeah.
And my mom said, I don't know what you said to him, but he had this smile on his face. But it's amazing that the guys like that can remember that. And I mean, you were a great coach, and I'm sure you have some of those things. But at 90, will you remember those, or will you remember what your last golf game was?
Exactly. I will probably remember the state finals when we lost to South Bend Adams, in 73.
As a player.
As a player, yeah.
Yeah.
As a player 50 years ago. I would remember some of that.
Yeah.
Think of such a treat that South Bend has had with John Wooden here. And one of the things I always find really interesting about, there are so many former coaches and players that have decided to make South Bend their home after their careers have been over. Era lived here, Joe Yanto, all of his coaches, and a bunch of others over the years, and players, they decided to live here. That speaks well for our city.
Yeah, no, I think South Bend, and obviously growing up in South Bend and then being out of South Bend for 40 years, coaching basketball everywhere. At the end, I said, my biggest deal is I want to come back home. I want to come back.
You got a
home.
new appreciation for it.
Oh, no. I mean, I'll drive down the road and see somebody that I went to high school with. And of course, Monica, my wife, is also from South Bend. Pat grew up in Anderson and was an Anderson Indian. And he was the head coach at Adams, left Adams, went down to Madison.
Right.
Came back where?
Back here.
Back to South Bend. Not to Anderson, but to South Bend.
Yeah. So far.
Yeah, no, I think, and to your point, I think
Yeah.
it speaks well of South Bend.
Yeah, it does.
All right, so
I've been here born and raised, so I didn't go anywhere.
what high school?
Clay, which they don't have anymore, right?
Yeah, no. So
Bums me out.
what year?
73. I'm an old guy.
No, you're a year older than me then.
Yeah.
I'm 74. I'm 74. St.
I'm
Joe.
70.
I'm
I'm in classes. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, we
Yeah,
talked.
I'm in
Right.
class
Yeah,
74.
yeah. Clay and St. Joe always had a great rivalry because on the same street we could have 5 kids that went to St. Joe and 5 kids that went to Clay.
Yeah,
That's just the way
exactly.
it was broke down.
Exactly. All right, so let's get to the nuts and bolts of this.
There we
man.
go.
Notre Dame football, Johnny Be Good. What do you think?
11-1.
11-1. Who's the one lost to? I think it's Bowling Green.
Bowling Green.
The game after the first
They
two.
don't, oh, no, that was Northern Illinois. My
There you go. Northern Illinois last year.
Last year.
You know, I just
I don't know.
I had just two of our guys were on a previous show just before I came here, Sean Stiers and Vince D'Addario.
Right.
They both said 11-1, but they will not specify what game will be the loss.
I can't specify that either.
It's just tough to go undefeated.
It's just in the world of college football now, you can't go undefeated. It's just hard.
Right.
And at 11-1, they're in. With the 12, they're in. But I don't know. Is it Miami? Is it going to be Texas A&M? Is USC going to provide a problem? Is it Boise State?
Well,
who knows?
We all know the earlier you lose, the better for you. If you lose late in the season, that kind of cooks your playoffs and everything. You need to lose early and then build up back after that.
Kind of like Texas and Ohio State next week playing each other.
There's quite a marquee of games over that weekend, isn't there?
Labor Day weekend's a good.
Clemson,
there's
LSU,
there's I haven't told my wife I'm going to be watching football all weekend.
On Saturday in the Big 12, there's Iowa State, number 22, playing Kansas State, number 17. And that's a conference game early.
Right.
There's obviously Texas and Ohio State.
Right.
There's LSU Clemson.
Right.
So LSU 9, Clemson 4. There, and I got to mention this because I'm not a big fan of it, but there's number 20 IU playing Old Dominion.
Sure.
I mean, I don't even know, is Old Dominion, is that Division 4 or what? Is Old Dominion Division 1?
NAIA.
NAIA. All right.
It's funny. I was just on my wife and I went to a concert with some friends down in Noblesville, and one of the people that we were with.
What show did you see?
Well, we saw Toto with Christopher Cross and Men at Work. Yeah, wow, is right.
Oh,
yeah.
No. And you didn't call and say, heck, why don't you go?
You didn't get that message?
Toto? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it was great. It was great. But one of the people down there, she's a doctor, big IU fan, everything. We got in a discussion and she brought up, she goes, well, you're trying to defend IU's, their scheduling and everything and stuff. Well, we had a better record last year. I mean, as far as opponent percentage, everything. And I didn't want to make her mad, but I said, I don't, maybe beat us by a little bit. Well, I came home right away at almost like 2 or 3 in the morning, had to find it. We had a better winning percentage on our schedule than they did. I had to send it to her. I've never heard anything back. So I might have lost my friend.
No, strength of schedule. I mean, strength of schedule too. So John, and when you say 11-1, you have a strong belief, and I don't know, what Tim would say, but you have a strong belief that Notre Dame's quarterback will be good then, because obviously college football is quarterback driven too.
Sure is.
It certainly is, and I think with both CJ Carr and Kenny Minchie, even though they don't have a lot of experience, they got a good football IQ.
Yes,
and that is so important in the college game is football IQ. Plus, there's a little running game they have up there on campus that can protect them for a little while. When you got Jeremiah Love, who's a Heisman candidate, and Jadarian Price, I think they can utilize them. And I think what you're really going to see I'm going to find very interesting is not just Jeremiah Love out of the backfield. He's going to line up in the slot a couple times. Use him in the passing game, which I think is going to give CJ Carr or Kenny Minchie even more weapons.
They're going to put that speed out on the perimeter and learn down there. They're also going to have their 2 best running backs doing the kickoff returns.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which a lot of teams frown on that. They think, well, maybe you're giving too much of a chance. Marcus Freeman, he's willing to take the chances and stuff.
I mean, I think he is too. But I mean, I got to ask you this question. How do you know they got a great football IQ? They ain't never laced them up yet. You don't know that.
Just from
I don't know it either.
Just from what we hear, right?
From what we hear and what we see.
Yeah. I mean, so like you had a phone conversation with Lloyd Carr, and Lloyd said, "Oh yeah, this kid's got a great IQ."
My grandson knows what he's doing. One of the things I was going to mention, I thought that Marcus Freeman did a great job of playing the quarterback situation again, because what he did was he set both quarterbacks up for success, because if one gets hurt, the other one is going to be able to step right in there. The other thing he did, I think they knew who the quarterback was all along. And what they did was they played this up with Mincy. So now
you got 2 great quarterbacks, not just one mediocre.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because last spring, I made the statement that there would only be one quarterback, that 2 of them would transfer. Well, one of them did. The other one will. Is what I'm saying.
I don't think Kenny Minchie will transfer. I think he's maybe after this year.
Right after the season. Yeah, because he's got 2 guys. This Blake Herbert is coming up now too. Is kind of like a CJ Carr from a couple years ago. So,
but what he has done is he has set Mincy up the same as Angeli.
Yes.
Where a year from now, next spring, December, he'll be gone.
Yeah.
He's going someplace as soon as the season's over.
I mean,
But for eligibility purposes, he's going to have 2 years. He can go play for somebody
and,
else.
and he'll be able to make some money.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So
Somebody he will be very high on the list of transfers.
Absolutely.
the
Because, as
college
you mentioned,
football
they're
landscape.
bringing new people in behind him. There's no reason for him to stay.
Right.
The college football landscape is so different. And I want to ask you this question. So would there ever been a thought in your mind that you couldn't pick CJ Carr because you might be afraid that he would transfer because of his pedigree, because of his name, and there would be some money out there for him that he wasn't going to get at Notre Dame?
I think it's all up in the air these days with the way transfer portal and stuff. I always tell my listeners, whatever, I wish I could just talk all football and didn't have to talk about transfer portal, super conferences, tournaments, and everything. But unfortunately, that's the landscape. We didn't have to do that years ago. We could just talk all football. But nope, you got to talk about everything because it influences everything.
Yeah, and it's also the way a college football coach is going to coach too.
Yeah, has an effect.
Because back in the day, and that's why Nick Saban got out. In Nick Saban's exit interviews, it was not about, you need to work on your strength, you need to work on your 40 time. It was, coach, how much more dough can I get, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Look at little Olivia Miles. Thought she was going to WNBA, but Texas Tech offered her a godly amount of sum of money that she's making more than what she'd ever make in the WNBA right now. So she went down there, tears the hearts out of loyal Notre Dame women's basketball players because now we're going to face her during the year. And she was such an integral part of this last year's team. But again, that's the landscape.
No, I know. And I had a conversation with Greg Madison a couple of days ago, the great defensive coordinator, coach at Notre Dame and Michigan. And
you're my new friend with him. I'm always looking for guests, so you got to connect me.
No, without question.
Please.
Without question. He's a great interview. He'll tell the stories. Yeah. Some coaches won't tell the stories.
Right.
They want to protect everybody, but he'll tell the stories, and he's amazing. But his talk with me about that is how can you recruit a guy and get to know? I'm recruiting Pat King for 2 years, and Pat King trusts me, and he's going to play at Notre Dame. And then the first time we go sideways. There's an agent in there saying, "Hey, I can get you this, I can get you that."
Yeah.
And whereas before, Pat King didn't really have many options. He was going to play at Notre Dame. He was going to listen to me, and I was going to coach him hard.
Yeah.
Now he's got options.
It's kind of somewhat out of control, although not them by providing now. I think Notre Dame gets $22 million or just shy of that to use for NIL. And then you can have a consortium of supporters that they can come up with another pool of money. But unfortunately, that's the way things go. I'm not going to say who it is, recently about somebody that helps recruiting at Notre Dame. And I asked them how that impacts with the NIL. And their bottom line is they say, if you're coming here for the NIL, you're coming to Notre Dame for the wrong reason. Bye-bye. You go talk to another team.
Go play someplace else.
Yeah. The adage of give me 4 and we'll give you 40 is still prevalent, which give us 4 years there. We're going to give you 40 years of your life.
Do you think that the talk about having a Notre Dame degree and a Notre Dame diploma still holds the weight that it used to be? Because a player could say, the diploma, maybe doesn't matter as much anymore. I'm going to get $2 million, or the diplomas at Texas or at Ohio State. They're great diplomas too.
Right.
And I used to always buy in that the Notre Dame diploma was up here. Do you still buy that in?
I still do. Actually, even more so from talking to this guy that works at Notre Dame, the fact that they'll just say, hey, you're a really good player, you're 5-star and everything, but these are the reasons you come here. If you're thinking we're going to give you $15 million or something like that, Ohio State can do it, Texas A&M can do it, but we're not doing it. So we're giving you that degree.
That's great to hear, right, in the landscape that we have.
Well, and you hear these pros, that when they get interviewed here as pros now, and they talk about college, and they say, when we're at Notre Dame, we have to go to class,
right?
Where these other guys are talking about online this, online that, where said we have to go to class.
They're taking juggling and home economics and everything else.
Well, they talked to the Auburn. I remember they talked to the Auburn basketball players. They did a YouTube thing with them. They said, "When's the last time you were at class?" They said, "Well, all my classes are online." It was like a year, 2 semesters. They hadn't been to a class where they actually went into the classroom in over a year.
I'll tell you all the people. I've interviewed hundreds of people over the year. When I first started interviewing, we had players from the 40s, was Lou Jack, Bertinelli, Leon Hart, George Connor, whatever. We had all. That's when I started. All those guys that we were talking to. But always has happened is people will ask me, well, who's your worst guest or Notre Dame guest? They're all got their nose up in the air, right? I'll say they don't. They are actually the kind of people you would hope your heroes would grow up to be. A lot of them are philanthropists. A lot of them have gone back to school to teach when they're in their 50s and 60s or whatever. It's just, no, I have nothing to say but positive about all these players. They're good people.
All right, so get into the positives because Notre Dame has always been known for great offensive lines.
Right.
All right, talk about the Notre Dame offensive line this year.
Well, we had Aaron Taylor on one of our shows last night talking about that, and of course he was the creator of the Joe Moore Award, which is national.
Yes.
Joe Rudolph is kind of a block off of Harry Heaston, and Joe Moore coaches the same way. Finds the 5 best players, no matter whether you were recruited as a tackle or a guard or a center, and finds the positions that they can all work together. Because a lot of coaches they still recruit by they're looking for a center, they're looking for a guard or a tackle. Mm-hmm. And when that kid gets in there, he's almost like, well, this is what I'm going to be. No, they tell him right in the beginning, we're going to take our 5 best players and going to do that. So you're right. Anthony Knapp, Billy Shroud. We do have a battle still for one position, and that's between Abisher and can't think at the moment what the name is, but there's only one position that's up for grab right now.
So what about the guard that was hurt in the ATV accident?
Charlie Jagasol?
Yeah.
When he comes back, which we hope will be sometime in October, he might have a hard time getting back in the lineup, even though he was a preseason All-American, because once these guys get in their positions, like Knapp got in there last year as an 18-year-old, a freshman.
Yeah.
And he didn't get moved out after that, even when some of the other people came back.
Plus, there's that camaraderie, too. I mean,
Yes.
linemen are a special breed because they can read each other's body language.
You know what? They room together.
Mhm.
They go eat together. They go do everything together. And that was back one of Joe Moore's big things that he did with all of his, and it's just considered to go on. They are the tightest group of position players probably on the team.
So then, okay, we extend out a little bit.
Mhm.
Tight end you.
That's right.
Notre Dame has been noted for tight ends and guys that have gone on into the NFL and played, made big money. What's our tight end room look like now?
Eli Reardon is going to be the next tight end you graduate.
Really?
Yep. All the coaches are saying, and he's had some injuries, over the years, so hasn't maybe gotten the notoriety. But from what they're saying that he's doing in practice and stuff, one of the coaches said in one of our interviews that he's probably going to be the next tight end you representative.
Yeah, and Notre Dame has done a great job with that. I mean, Mitchell last year is in the league now playing.
Right.
So obviously we have to have a great tight end. The one that I know that left, Holden Stays. I thought Holden Stays was going to be.
I think he's at Kentucky now, is it?
He might be at IU.
Okay, yeah, I think you're right. You're
Might
at
be
IU.
Holden
Yeah.
Stays.
Yeah, he went to IU.
IU.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was going as a freshman and a sophomore. He got clock, and I thought he was going to be really good.
Yeah, well, he just saw kind of like quarterback, all these different ones. I mean, they recruit 3 to 4 every year, and they're all 3 or 4 star, occasionally a 5-star in there. So, yeah, it's tough. And this year too, I think for what's going to help a lot, we've got a good set of wide receivers. We've kind of had a trouble with that the last few years. Guys getting separation, not having the speed, blowing coverages and stuff like that. From these 2 transfers that came in, Malachi Fields and Will Spalding.
From where'd they come in from?
Let's see, Will Pauling, I think, is from Wisconsin, and I'm not sure where Malachi came from.
Did he come from Georgia Tech? Does that sound right?
Could be. I'm thinking one of the North Carolina teams, North Carolina or North Carolina
State. He came
State.
from North Carolina State. I think you're right, Tim. Yeah, I think he came from NC State. Yeah.
And it looks like they're going to be starters, right now, which we hope they would be. And they got a lot of speed. And Malachi is a 6'4", presence like Michael Floyd used to be.
Yes.
When you're taller than most of your defensive backs are going to be, and you got a big body that you can use to push the defender off. So.
And you still got little Joey Greathouse,
yes,
who makes plays, and then
Faison, Jason Faison too. Yes.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to know that.
It's a good wide receiver crew this year.
And so we lose Al Golden.
Right.
We lose Al Golden to the NFL. And
Chris Ash.
Yeah, I thought Al Golden was really good, and I thought Al Golden was an NFL defensive coordinator coming back to the college game.
Right. It was.
And did a lot of different things that a lot of college people probably didn't see. We'll talk about our defense.
Well, let's talk about you guys as coaches. How is it when you're coming in following somebody that's really successful? What do? Do you try to keep the same thing, or you put your own spin on it? He's trying to put his own spin on different areas of it.
Say, don't screw it up.
That's right. He's kind of caught between the rock and a hard place, so to speak, as far as he wants to put his things in there, which I understand he's putting some little things in there, but you don't want to blow up what's just has been an number one ranked defense.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to be, but that's tough. I feel sorry for almost somewhat respect for a guy coming in. It's easy to come in when somebody was bad,
Right.
and you can put everything in the change and get rid of all that, but you don't want to, do too much to, rock the boat, I guess.
Well, and how many of the other position coaches are still there, so they know what's going on.
Yeah, they do, and we're blessed to have Mickens in the defensive backfield, which could be could be 2 out of 4 All-Americans.
I say, yeah.
Leonard Moore came in last year to replace Benjamin Morrison as an 18-year-old.
Yes.
They never got him off the field after that, and now he's a preseason All-American. So
what about our front four from the defensive end?
we got a lot. We've got probably 10 players that can rotate in and out of there that are all good. And somebody that follows Notre Dame a lot like you did and coach did and I did or whatever, up until the last couple of years, that has always been our problem on defense especially. Somebody would get hurt and go down. We just didn't have a quality player to fill it up.
Had linebackers, but nobody up front.
Yeah, we are so deep. We're 2 or 3 deep at every position this year. And, in a long season, I think that's going to bode well.
Yeah, Kenny, you got something.
Sorry, Kenny.
That's all right. I want to go back to, first of all, I want to talk about the defense. Christian Gray coming back in the corner. Let's hope he can kind of raise his game up. And I thought Greathouse really came out in that semifinal game against Penn State.
He did on the last regular season game, and then he started showing in the playoff and stuff too. And that's what and he's a tall, lanky kid too. We just need somebody that, and supposedly this is one of Carr's advantages. He's got the long ball down the field that he can push the ball down the field. We just haven't had that. We've had Riley Leonard was great and everything, but he'll tell you his hallmark wasn't throwing it 50 yards down the field or 60. His were the short passes and then using his legs.
Yeah, no, he had 906 yards rushing the football last year and 17 touchdowns rushing the football. He threw for 21 touchdown passes, 2,800 yards, and people said he couldn't throw the ball.
Right.
I thought those numbers were pretty good, actually.
I think he might end up someday being the Colts starting quarterback, and they just got to give him a moment. Here's something good about C.J. Carr. And of course, it's high school versus getting into college, but you got to look at a lot of that. He threw 78 touchdowns against only 18 interceptions. In the NFL, if you have a ratio of 3 to 1, that's good. You get over 4 or higher, that's elite. Well, he's over 4. He's a little 4.1 to 1 ratio on that and stuff too. If he can be any of that, keep any of that ability. Some say he's a little too confident, and that's why he's like Brett Favre, the gunslinger. Brett Favre threw a lot of touchdown passes, but he threw a lot of interceptions too, right? Because he always thought he could get that ball in there. Mm-hmm. That's what they have to temper him on. You don't have to get it in, and you do not have to win the game yourself, right?
Well, and how much of it is the influence of his grandfather? I mean, being around. I mean, I'm sure he was around practice all the time when he was a little kid at Michigan.
Well, yeah, but I'm not sure about that because his grandfather was ground and pound, man. At Michigan. Yeah. I mean, hogs up front, ground and pound.
Yeah.
The big question and the bet on the line right now is, how long into a game is the camera going to pan over to have Grandpa from Michigan have the ND hat on and stuff? How long is it going to take the camera crew to get that over?
What's the over/under on that?
That's right.
Yeah, no, that. I mean, that'll be really cool. And so what you're telling me is that Caleb Williams has a chance to be good because he had 20 touchdown passes to 6 interceptions. That's 3 to. That's over 3.
Well, they finally got him a line this year. Hopefully they got a line because the poor kid's always running around. I wasn't a big fan of his at Southern Cal, believe me. So, and when he takes himself out of a game or something like that, but I don't like that. But now at the Bears, I mean, he's finally maybe got a good line.
And he's got a head coach that understands football, right?
Yeah, understands his quarterback, what you got to do to protect it. Got him some receivers too.
Yes.
So
it only took 20 minutes for him to get this over to the Bears.
I'm going back because I want to know the kicking game. I know they got the punter, the Australian punter.
Yeah, who can do better? He didn't really I didn't think he was as advertised last year, did he?
No, I didn't think he was great.
Yeah. In the first practice this year that they had, he didn't, and the field goal kickers didn't do very good the first. But my understanding is they've really progressed. We've got the kid that came from another North Carolina State, right?
No, North Carolina State kicker. Yep.
And so what they're trying to make Marty Bellagio, and as a special teams coach, they're trying to make anything up to 50 yards or out to 50 yards just routine. I mean, it's been an adventure when we get 45, 46. He's trying to get it so at least 50 yards in, it's like a guarantee, coach, we're going to make that one.
Yeah, no, that's the way. It's almost approaching 60 in the NFL.
A guy hit 64 the other day in a preseason game, so it don't count. 64 yards.
Guy from Jacksonville hit a 70-yarder.
Yeah, a guy from Jacksonville hit a 70-yarder.
So was his name Tom Dempsey?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember selling that with the half the
foot. Tom Dempsey is back.
New Orleans Saints. We're dating ourselves. We talk about that now.
Tom Dempsey
yards
is back.
Guys, he made it. He could have made it from 75.
Yeah, really.
Me. No, hey, listen, man. We really appreciate you taking a minute or two.
I enjoy it
out of your day, and I enjoy listening to your pregame stuff.
Thank you.
You're really good. Your guests are amazing. I mean, I love listening. Like you said, I love listening to Notre Dame guys, ex-Notre Dame guys, and they really get it. I mean, they understand their education. They understand what Notre Dame did for them, and at some point in time, they always try and give back.
Yeah. My wife said she knows why I accepted 3.5 hours, because I have a head full of useless information.
No, I get
it. I just have a bunch of useless information in there. So
I hope my wife Monica is listening, because Tim Growl said exactly what you say to me all the time. I'll say it again.
A head full of useless information.
Tim's got it. Tim's got it too.
Yeah, see?
It's a matter of opinion.
Tim's got it.
It is a matter of opinion. I like that.
Matter of opinion, matter of perspective.
No. So my wife tells me, Ron, you need to go on Jeopardy, because all the stuff you know matters to nobody except being on Jeopardy.
My wife won't play trivia with me anymore. She won't play Stratego with me anymore. She won't play any of those Clue. I played a couple games of Clue with her a year or so ago, and I got it right the first guess each time. So even my kids, they don't want to play with me. But other stuff I have a hard time with.
And Monica, and so Monica will always reference the movie White Man Can Jump. Billy's girlfriend always wanted to get on Jeopardy.
Yeah.
So anyway, thanks, man, and
appreciate it,
and good luck in your added time slot. And
can I tell you where that's at again?
Yes.
So Sports Radio 960 AM, and we're going to this now. Also, I just found out like a half hour ago, we're going to be simulcast on Sunny. So we like triple our listenership as far as distance out there. So.
Yeah, and I like the State Farm shirt, because, as I'm not sure everybody knows, but Tim is my State Farm agent, and
that's my day job.
Takes care of us really well, and I'll call him in his office. I'll say, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm prepping for Notre Dame, man."
That's right.
I ain't worried about it.
You got that right. It's all over my desk today and stuff. So I appreciate you guys. Are all great. Thanks for having me on.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Tim Graw.
That sounds great. Hey, you're listening to Broadcast Sport. This is Coach's Corner. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Thanks.
Thinking about retirement? Harbor Group Planned Wealth helps you answer the big questions like when to draw Social Security, how to manage investment risk, and what health insurance might cost. Wondering if you can earn part-time income after 62 without losing benefits, or if retiring could actually feel like getting a raise? They've got answers and a plan to guide you. Call the Harbor Group at 765-393-1074 or visit harborgroup.com. That's harborgroup.com. Han Funeral Homes, located at 505 West 8th Street in Mishawaka, continues a proud tradition built on one promise of family serving families. With deep roots in the community, Han Funeral Homes offers traditional burial, cremation services, and now pet cremation options, providing compassionate care for every member of the family. Families in Mishawaka have long trusted Hans to guide them with dignity, understanding, and personal attention through life's most difficult moments. For more information, visit them online at hanfuneralhomes.com or call 574-255-1474. Han Funeral Homes, a family serving families.
Medicare plans can be confusing, but they don't have to be. I'm Tony Letcher, licensed insurance agent. I can help you compare your options because I'm appointed with many nationally recognized carriers. With my help, you can find the coverage that fits your needs and budget. I don't want you to be my client today. I want you to be my client forever. Call Tony Ledger today to schedule your free consultation or visit tledger.com.
Looking to hit the road with confidence? Frick's Driving School in Mishawaka has been helping drivers of all ages gain the skills they need for a lifetime of safe driving. With experienced, patient instructors, including our very own Pat King, and flexible scheduling options, Frick's makes learning to drive easy and stress-free. Whether you're a first-time driver or need a refresher like our own Ron Heklinski, Frick's has you covered. Plus, for just $65, they offer the state driving exam in-house. No need to go anywhere else. Visit fricksdrivered.com or you can call 574-256-0650 to get started today. Back again with more Coach's Corner. Shout out, as always, to the Black Sedan Band, now in there. Well, they've been with us since the start. We'll just say that. They do travel, so if you're interested in booking a great cover band, go to blacksedanband.com, or you can check them out on YouTube after you're done watching us, of course. Now here's more Heck and King.
We are back at the famous, and I wouldn't even say like the famous place in Indiana, a world famous bar at Corby's Irish Pub that has been here and in the Joe Mitica family forever and ever and ever. And we certainly want to thank the people at Corby's Irish Pub for having us in here.
Yeah.
And after the show, we're going to have some pizza. And we'll be able to critique that, right? I mean, we'll be able to say good pizza, okay pizza, average pizza.
Well,
we'll check it out.
We could say the best pizza in South Bend.
We've talked music tonight. We've talked sports tonight. Now we're going to be food critics tonight.
We'll talk pizza.
Absolutely.
After.
Heck, one of the things I was going to mention is, they still have the murals on the wall from the movie over here. On the street side here, and all the bunch of shirts and stuff. There's a lot of stuff still in here from the movie Root.
Yeah, no, and so I go back and I wish I would have had more time with Joe, because I would have talked a little bit about the Hickory Husker gym when they filmed Hoosiers. Very, very similar.
Place.
I mean, very, very similar. I mean, you talk about an iconic basketball a venue and where they shot a movie. It doesn't get any better than Hickory Huskers, right?
Right. Well, and Kenny can tell you that Knightstown was actually second choice, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Remember you were talking about that?
Yes. Back when they were getting ready to film the movie, the place that they really looked at was in La Crosse, in southern LaPorte County. They have the Tiger Den right there. The school was built in 1915. It was the old-fashioned two-story school. They had everything that the movie people wanted for there. The only problem was they didn't have a wood floor. They had those old rubber tartan floors.
They had the tartan floor.
If they would have had a wooden basketball floor like they do in Knightstown, they would have shot the entire movie in La Crosse at the gym, at the school, and then there were a bunch of other little township schools that they could have used within a 10-mile radius that had gyms similar to Hickory that were still up, that they could have used to shut the whole movie down.
I had heard that they were considering shooting a movie on the stage at Manchester College, where I played, on a stage.
I've been there.
I know, on a stage.
I've been there.
I remember a certain game. I'm diving after a ball. I dive. They're selling popcorn on the bottom of the stage. I hit the table with the popcorn. I get 2 or 3 handfuls before I go back on the court.
Yeah, it's like lacrosse.
That was a unique situation, that's for sure.
Coach Wolf is saying, Ronnie, get on the court. I said, Coach, hold on.
I'll be right back.
Stuff is really good.
Coach. Give me a break.
So you did the original TO with get the popcorn ready.
Yeah.
While we're talking about Knightstown, we found this out a couple of years ago. We went down and did a high school basketball game when New Prairie played John Glenn down there. We're at lunch at this restaurant in Knightstown, and I get a message from this guy from LaPorte County named Matt Warner. And Matt Warner sends me a message, hey, you aren't going to believe this, but there was a guy from Rolling Prairie that went down to Knightstown and led them to a sectional championship. I go, really? He goes, yeah. His name was Harlan Clark. He had coached at Rolling Prairie in the 50s, and then he left Rolling Prairie and went to Knightstown and led Knightstown to a sectional title back in like 58. But the guy he took over for at Knights, yes. So when he went to Knightstown, yes. They have a whole room in the back of Knightstown's gym.
I can't. He's our fact checker.
This is your PT stuff.
This is E.T. Pearl.
Yeah.
Well,
and we saw that when we were down
Yes.
there. Kenny and I were broadcast. We went in that room, and it's all
amazing.
there.
And the guy that Harlan Clark took over for went to Newcastle. to be an assistant coach for this guy. I think you might have heard of him. Went to Newcastle to be with Marvin Wood.
Marvin Wood.
Yep.
Heard of him.
Head coach of Mishawaka. Hey, anyway, so we want to thank Tony Letcher and his great people at Health Markets Insurance. They do a great job with people that want to get into Medicare. How many more years you got before you get into Medicare?
3.
Okay, we want to keep you upright for 3 years because then you can see John.
See,
Then you can see Tony Letcher. How many more years you got?
I got quite a few. I got about 8.
I forget you. Tony Letcher, Health Markets Insurance.
I hope he's still around. I'm ready for
no help for Kenny anyway. So.
I hope he's still around when I get ready to get him.
I got 35.
The Ben Harbor Financial Group out of Anderson, Indiana, they do a tremendous job with the money that you might want to invest. And I have a lot of trust in Ben Harbor. I know you do too.
We were just been working with him here in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
Moving
Pat
somebody
Hahn,
around.
Pat Hahn, and the people at Hahn Funeral Home, and it goes back to the deal where I say, what did one casket say to the other? Aaron tried to be a funny man, but the real answer is that you coughing?
Yeah, we parked down the second time he said that.
The black sedan band out of Birmingham, Alabama. We got to get a tune on.
We will.
We got to get a tune on.
Scott's going to take care of that for us in a little bit.
From the black sedan band, and then Frick driving.
It's bath time right now.
I have no idea why, but my wife tells me I need to go back to driving school.
I can't understand
I don't understand why she's glaring at me.
Yeah.
Why do I need to go back to driving school? I do not know.
And here's a great teacher right next to you can help you.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Pat, help me.
Yeah.
We'll go to Barnaby's, eat 7 pizzas, and come back, and I'll say,
There will never be another Heck and King show if Heck is his student.
Well, I know. I tell the kids, it's your time. If you want to bring the money, I teach them how to do the drive-through at Wendy's or McDonald's.
Frick's driving school. No, we'll come here. We'll come here, sit, watch the Cub game. I'll go home, and Monica will say, hey, did you learn how to drive? I say, heck yeah. Heck yeah. I learned how to drive.
Hey, let's talk some college football.
College football, man. The top 22.
Well,
top 22.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. I am so tired of listening to people like us talk about football during June, July, and August. I'm ready for a football game.
Dude, it's here.
I'm ready for
John,
a football
hit him.
game.
Slap him. Wait, John.
It's here. I'm ready for a game. I'm so
It's
tired
here,
of listening
man.
to these amateurs
It's here in the
that
top
are going to tell us all these great things.
and the top 22.
Okay.
There's 9 out of the SEC. Imagine that. The top 22, there's 9 out of the SEC.
Surprised there's not more.
There's 10 or there's 6 in the Big 10. There's 3 in the ACC. There's 3 in the Big 12, and there's 1 major independent. Guess who? Notre Dame.
Army.
Sorry. No. But Texas won, Penn State, Ohio State, Clemson, Georgia, and then the Irish. They got the Irish checking in at 6.
And nobody's played a game yet.
No, but and the people that do this, okay, the people that do this, I have respect for them because they sit every day and they study this, and they know who's coming back. They know the schedule. They know. I think they know what they're talking about, and there's always going to be some slip ups, but I think it's pretty good when I look at it.
I completely disagree with Penn State because Penn State's playing a bunch of nobodies. I mean, they're playing Slippery Rock,
Sisters of
the Poor, and whoever else. St. Mary's of the Assumption. I mean, James Franklin sits there and gripes about schedules and stuff. Maybe he needs to take a look at his non-conference schedule before he starts griping about people and who they play.
We've got a big
Wow.
in-state.
Wow.
I know Labor.
Yeah.
For a guy that loved Joe Paterno, wow.
Goodness. We've got
Wow.
a busy Labor Day weekend coming up, which we'll have a chance to talk about next Thursday. But Ball State at Purdue next week.
I know, but so
Ball State's going to win that.
So Ball State at Purdue, you know what that falls under?
What?
Who cares?
Take the Cardinals.
Ball State at Purdue. Who cares?
Take the Cardinals.
Our buddy.
No. I think the guy at Purdue, Barry Odom, who came over from UNLV. I think Barry Odom is good. By the way,
They got to upgrade their talent.
I think he's pretty good.
He just needs to get some players.
Yep.
And then
So what's going on this weekend?
and then I said, well, no, you got Iowa State at Kansas State on this coming Saturday.
So it's doubling.
And that's, to me, that's a Big 12 game. That's a Big 12 showdown right off the jump because Iowa State's 22 in the country, and Kansas State is 17.
Now is that game in Ireland?
Yeah,
That's in Ireland.
That's
Yeah.
the Dublin game. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why it's over there.
But that's a big game in that league so early. I mean,
Yes,
so
it
early.
is. Yeah.
I talked to me about your thoughts about Curt Cignetti at Indiana. Now, you know, and I know we have a lot of listeners that are IU fans.
Yeah.
I talk to them all the time, and I mean, I'm not going to say that I've bought into the Kool-Aid of Curt Cignetti. I think he did it. He showed people in the college football world how to do it.
Mm-hmm. He did.
Go in, and if you're going to buy players, buy good players.
Right. Exactly.
Kind of what Saban said. If you got $20 million and you put it on the wrong people, you wasted your money.
I think we're going to find out a lot about Cignetti this year, considering the schedule has gotten a little bit more challenging than what it was last year.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he had to go find some more players.
Well,
too.
yeah, no, and they picked up Indiana State. It's real challenging. First game's against Old Dominion, Division 7.
Yeah, exactly.
But how good is that going to do you to get ready? Because when you get into the Big Ten, you got to go to Oregon. Have fun with that trip.
Well, you got Illinois, and you know, I mean, Brent Bielema has done a great job.
He's a great coach, isn't he? I'll tell you.
I mean, you got Illinois ranked 12th.
Mm-hmm.
12th. So I think, I mean, I don't know, and how coaches act, how coaches respond. I don't know, because when I was coaching, I did some really stupid stuff. I made stupid comments, and I wish I could go back and take it back. But I wonder if Curt Cignetti wishes that he could take back when his answer was, "Well, just Google me."
He got the attention, didn't he?
Yeah, and he did something that no one else at Indiana has ever done. Made football relevant.
Yeah, it's been very rare, yeah.
Yeah, because I have a lot of IU friends, and they always said football season was just the warm-up for basketball season. It was something to do on Saturday before basketball season.
Well, I'm thinking how many of them went out to tailgate at halftime and never came back.
Yeah, and Bill Mallory was a fixture at IU.
He did a great job.
I mean, relative to football.
Yep.
But I'm not sure anybody else between Bill Mallory and Curt Cignetti, really had sustained success at IU.
That's a good point.
So then he takes Virginia off the schedule, and he takes somebody else off the schedule. He again puts Indiana State on, and somebody else. But again, his comments, I think, just rubbed people the wrong way. He said, "Well, the SEC does it all the time." Well, you're not the SEC.
Not the SEC, pal. Yeah, you're not.
But
in his mind, that's who he thinks he's competing with for players. So that's what he's thinking.
And to be one of the 12 at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. At the end. So I mean, college football, Pat Fitzgerald, the longtime head coach at Northwestern, 17 seasons, record of 110 and 101, gets fired for hazing going on in his program. And
at Northwestern.
But whatever it was hazing.
Right.
His contention was, I didn't know anything about it, and it was never brought to me. Well, yesterday he got. The judge came out and judged in his favor.
Yes.
And I was happy to hear that, because Pat Fitzgerald was nothing but a positive and a great coach at Northwestern.
But the bottom line is, whether he knew it or not, it's his team.
100% I agree.
Right.
Well, the bottom line is that.
The bottom line is he sued him for $130 million and won.
Right. And that's what's interesting about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to send him a letter.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to be a sponsor on this show, Pat?
Absolutely.
We'll talk about Northwestern football.
You could talk about the investment guy that you guys have.
Yeah,
Invest that money.
Ben give him a call.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ben give him a call. But I agree with you. He's running the show.
Well, and it's just like, look at any of them, whether it's Paterno at Penn State or Patino at Louisville, whatever it was, whether they knew about it or not, their name's still on the front door.
Yeah. Hey, high school football. We're coming up on high school football now.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah,
there you go,
tomorrow
Pat.
night.
Finally.
And I think I think high school football. I mean, I don't know how you guys see high school football in this area, and you guys broadcast high school football all the time. Give us, who's playing, your thoughts about it.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. We'll start with that.
I thought Christmas was on the last day of basketball camp.
No.
My two favorite
High
days.
school, no, it's high school football season.
Good point. Spoken by
Can you guys hear me?
I think there's some really good teams up here in northern Indiana. You know, I know you're going to talk about the Center Groves of the world, the Westfields of the world, you know, Jeffersonvilles of the world, all these schools in central and southern Indiana, but don't discount Mishawaka is going to be dynamite this year. You've got Concord's going to be good. We know what Bart Curtis does over at Warsaw. You know, a new start out at New Prairie. You guys will be there over at LaPorte for the Milk Jug. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Ryan O'Shea coming over from Lakeland with the name that he has in his family. Obviously, you know, St. Joe. We saw them at the scrimmage last week. You know, Drew and I will have that game tomorrow night. Heck, you're going to be there as well. It's going to be a good game with Lakeland tomorrow night. There are some really good football teams up in this area that could be making some noise to get down to Indianapolis Thanksgiving weekend.
If so, give me your thoughts on South Bend football.
It's a work in progress. I think the problem is
You're being diplomatic.
Well, I am.
Well, no, you know,
absolutely. If I'm not diplomatic, the product.
well, you have to
sucks.
be diplomatic,
right? But you know what? Not diplomatic. The product sucks. It really does, and I'm not sure who is to blame on this.
It's not a good product.
No,
right
and you've got guys transferring here and there. The quarterback at Adams took his ball and cried, came over here to St. Joe because he wasn't going to be guaranteed the starting job because another guy was pressing him. So he told Frank, I'm taking my ball and I'm coming over here a mile, and he's going to be the starter tomorrow night for St. Joe, we think. All these guys are crying and they can transfer and all this kind of stuff, and I just think that something needs to be done to improve South Bend football. What that is, I don't know. The athletic directors, I'm not sure what they're doing. Obviously, Adams has a new athletic director now because the one they had just went up to Sturgis.
Okay, who is the new athletic director at Adams?
Corbin Burns.
Colin Burns.
Colin Burns, you're right.
One of my former students.
One of your former students. Yep. He was also a PA announcer for a while. Don Huff has decided to take an associate principal position up in Sturgis, also going to be working on CTE programs up there. So here you get a guy who comes in late, and
so if I'm to understand what you just said, the ex-PA announcer for Adams is the new AD.
He's a marketing.
He's a marketing guy. He works in marketing, and they want to go that.
He has not been teaching.
He's not been a teacher. He's never had athletic administration. They bring in a marketing guy because they want to promote their product.
Kind of
it's hard to promote a product that's not good.
Kind of in the mold of what Dean Hubbard did at Mishawaka.
Okay, so.
But Mishawaka had a product.
Yeah.
South Bend does not.
Okay. You are a coach. You know football. Obviously, if they brought you in and asked you the question, how do you fix South Bend football? What would you say? Cancel it?
No, I think truthfully, where it really all begins is you've got to have a youth feeder system somewhere in the city. I mean, the youth. I'll give you an example. Heck, there have been times I've been coming home after work where I'm coming around the curve by the American Legion. They got flag football games all over the yard there at the American Legion in New Carlisle. There are kids that are 6, 7, 8 years old playing flag football. Their dad's out there teaching them football. The football field in New Carlisle on Saturday mornings, they're playing in a league that's based out of Michigan. It all begins, honestly, at the youth league level. Where
do they have that in South Bend?
They do not. They have it at the middle school level. We've seen that. They are trying to get it down to the lower level, but they need to come up with something like the ICCL. Look why St. Joe and Marion are good.
Yeah.
Because these kids start young in the ICCL.
Sure.
They work their way through that program, and by the time they get to either St. Joe or Marion to work with Mike or Ben, they know the game. It doesn't have to be taught. That's the problem in South Bend. A lot of these kids that play in South Bend do not play at younger ages, or they play other sports and football is secondary. And that's frustrating to the coaches. The coaches need to kind of band together, the three that we have, and say, hey, we need some kind of a youth football program in this community. It's working on Saturdays or Sundays or whatever.
Yeah, 30 years ago, heck, there was no youth football league in New Carlisle. They started in about 1995, and the results of that have been dynamite ever since. And am I still on here? Yeah. I mean, that's why they've been able to develop, because kids start when they're 6, 7 years old playing football and are into the game. And now by the time they get into high school, they've got a good grasp of the game of football. Kind of like what Penn does,
So I mean, so you might say also about, you might say also about football at Anderson, because Anderson never had good football in the North Central Conference.
No.
Why was that?
Good question. They just never really a lot of the athletes did not play football. They played basketball or baseball, but they would not play football.
I do have a theory, and I think the theory is that when you're a football coach, you have to be able to galvanize so many people.
Yes.
Your players have got to have this feeling for you that when you say we're lifting weights at 6 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning in the summertime, you have 95% attendance. Now, why can Keith Kinder do that at Mishawaka? Mishawaka South Bend lived right next door.
Absolutely.
Why can Ben Downey do that at St. Joe?
Mm-hmm.
Why can Mike Davidson do it at Marion? Why can Bart Curtis do it? Well, I know why Bart Curtis can do it at Warsaw because it's the only show in town.
Right.
But why can't they do it at Washington? Why can't they galvanize those kids and say, hey, I don't need 100 of you. Give me 40 of you.
Right.
And let's make it so freaking special for you to do that. I don't know.
I'll give you one. Heck, Jimmy Schwingendorf, who's on the New Prairie coaching staff, he runs a weight training class out at New Prairie, and the athletes just go in there left and right throughout the year to train and actually work at it, and they do it.
And just like in Logansport, their new head coach, Troy Hudson, who took over for the legendary Mike Johnson, he is now, he was a guidance counselor. Now he is going to be the head football coach. He teaches one class a day, weight training, football players only.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And he said, we have got to do this. And he said out of his kids, he had 50 kids this summer that came in and did a lot of weight training.
Sure.
And that helps. They're not selling that in South Bend, and these coaches aren't making that effort to do that.
So then if they're not selling that in South Bend, then are the athletic directors not holding them accountable? Or would the athletic directors tell me, well, Ron, who else can I go out and get?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who else will take these jobs?
I think those are both valid points. Who wants them? Who would want a job coaching in South Bend? And Pat, you went through that when you were at Adams, and look at all the rotation of coaches they have every year, and they're trying to hire all these other coaches in the middle schools, and they were supposedly going to work on elementary athletics. That kind of fell apart last year.
It's a pipe dream.
It's a pipe dream. It really is. In South Bend, they're not selling the school.
It's good talk, but it just never
Okay,
happens.
so if it's a pipe dream, and you ran for the school board, would you say cut football out? It's expensive, a lot of equipment, the liability. If we're not teaching it right, kids are going to get hurt. Would you just cut it out, or would you make a concerted effort to try and have it done the right way? Good question.
Good question. I don't have an answer. I know what I would.
Can you guys hear me
I
yet?
would threaten to get rid of football. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, and you're a football guy.
Yeah.
Your background is football.
Yeah, my background is football. And from what I've seen, it would be very easy if I'd go in there and threaten them. If I was Mansour Eid, I would sit there as superintendent and say, look, we're hemorrhaging money. Football is very expensive. I would say, look, if we don't get this turned around, football's over.
If you can't show me that you're going to have 90% attendance in your weight workouts in the summertime, because to me, that's where football players are made, in the weight room.
Yeah, off season.
The mentality of them and all that stuff. All right, well, that might be a question for another day. We have games coming up tomorrow night. I am so happy that high school football is here. The weather's been great lately. It'll be cool tomorrow night. Chicago Cubs, I just got to tell you, man, I'm sliding on Craig Counsell a little bit. Sliding on him, man, and I know you went through a deal where the Tigers lost 10 or 12 straight.
Yep, absolutely. I was getting a little bit worried there for a while. Now they got a 10-game lead again.
Yeah, no, but
I watched them today. Milwaukee got them today.
Well, no, I don't.
He threw one bad pitch, and that was the ball game.
Well, no, I don't like their lineup. I mean, Matt Shaw, third baseman, been hitting the cover off the ball. You sit him. Owen Casey, a rookie they bring up. Kyle Tucker struggling, man. So you give him 2 days off. You think he's going to be any different? What's he do? Roll over, hit the ball to the right side of the infield.
Well, I'm looking here at the standings. They're still the fourth best team in the
Yeah,
National
no,
League.
they are.
They're the fourth best team.
They are.
Record-wise, they're the fourth best team. It just happens they're now 7 games out.
But the thing is, you can't. I mean, when Milwaukee's winning games by pulling rabbits out of their foots in that 14-game stretch there, where it seemed like every break on the planet was going their way. Heck, I was finally relieved the other night when they got beat to cool them off a little bit. Because, I mean, the way they were winning, they were going to win 120 games because nobody was beating them.
Here's a question I want to ask you guys. Urban Meyer comes out and says, Jim Harbaugh, who the NCAA came out and sanctions everywhere, 10-year deal. You can't coach for 10 years, can't do this, can't do that. Urban Meyer comes out today and says that the NFL ought to suspend Jim Harbaugh too. And his rationale for that was years ago when Jim Tressel got fired at Ohio State for some irregularities. He was working with the Colts then in the offseason, doing some analytics for him. And Roger Goodell suspended him for 6 games in the NFL.
Interesting.
Will the NFL come out and suspend Jim Harbaugh?
No.
No way.
I mean, that's big difference between college and pro.
Yeah, no, but there's precedent to do it.
There is.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right,
I agree. But they're not going to, Goodell's not going to do that.
Isn't it interesting? You're talking about sign stealing. What's been the big issue with the Little League World Series that we keep watching? Got teams stealing signs.
Yes.
In Little League.
Yeah, because Peterson didn't throw them out.
But here's the thing. In Little League Baseball, like what you see in Williamsport, sign stealing is illegal.
Yeah.
In the Cal Ripken Babe Ruth division, sign stealing is legal because there is no rule. There is no rule in the book because in Cal Ripken, they play by major league rules.
Is Connor Stallions coaching in Cal Ripken?
He should be.
And if you don't know Connor Stallions, just look it up. Hey,
just Google it.
Google him.
Google me. Hey, so our sponsors again, Tony Letcher Health Markets. Yes, yay. Ben Harbor, Han Funeral Home, Black Sedan Music, and Frick Driving School. We want to thank you. This is show number 1. We certainly look forward to our stay here at Corby's. I can't wait till we get our guests coming in and shooting the breeze here. I think for number 1, we had a pretty good show tonight, boys.
We did, and whatever technical issues we had there in that first little
We got to figure it out.
we got them figured out, so we apologize for that. We'll make adjustments here next time and get all that taken care of.
Who's the technical director on this show?
Well, it was me this week because my son was playing golf.
Oh.
He's the guy we got to get to.
With my 2 brothers and his brother-in-law.
Before we go, can we promote our broadcast for tomorrow night?
Promote it, man. Do
John,
what you got.
You got St. Joe and Lakeland.
I have St. Joe and Lakeland. Drew and I will have that call. 6:30 pregame show tomorrow night. The Barnaby's Pizza pregame show. Hope you can join us. And Heck and I are both going to be in the same booth. Hopefully they can put up with both of us tomorrow night.
I'm working with Regional
Yep,
Radio
you are.
Sports, and I'll be with JP Gilbert.
Oh, Blackjack Shellac.
Broadcasting that game. I did football probably 20 years ago. So I'm making my return. That's a 3-4. Get those rush ends. Get to the QB. I mean, Lakeland's got a great quarterback.
They sure do.
Make them uncomfortable.
Yes.
Make them uncomfortable.
6'4", 220, can throw it all over the yard.
Yeah,
You
and
and
Pat and Jim Airbrand will be joining us with the video tomorrow night at Kiwanis Field. New Prairie versus LaPorte for the Battle of the Milk Can. Special 1-hour edition of the Digsy Dogs and Grill pregame show at 7 o'clock. Lots of storylines. More storylines than what you find on Young and Restless, that's for
All
sure.
right, I love it, man.
Because we've got new coach at New Prairie and former New Prairie offensive coordinator Bill Gum has taken his talents to LaPorte and going to make for some interesting theater tomorrow night, Coach.
They need to put the ball on the tee and say, let's play.
We're ready to go.
There's so much drama
It's
going on
football,
over
man.
there.
It's football.
I'm looking forward to it because I'm tired of all the prelim stuff.
That's what sells tickets, though, right?
I suppose.
Right. Hey, Johnny, great to see you, man.
See you.
I can't wait to get to Notre Dame tailgates, man, and have your tailgates.
We're having them. Yep. Broadcast Sport tailgates, Notre Dame home games.
Yeah, and listen, folks, thanks for tuning in. We will be with you next week, same time, same place, Corby's Irish Pub. Thanks for tuning in, Pat. You the absolute best, man.
Good job tonight. You had good guests, and we'll get through this. Have a good one next week too.
All right, man.
All right, take care,
All right.
everybody.